Hey, what's up guys? It's Daniel from Iamvanguard, and I'm here to bring you some update to the my previous Link Joker deck. So yeah, let's get to it. This is the starter, the Dusttail Unicorn, always the best starter. Counterblast 1, put itself into Soul to lock any unit on the field if you already had a prior lock. So he's a really flexible card. He allows you to pretty much lock whenever you want during the game if you already had a lock on the field. So I've seen some people run Selenium, but I don't really recommend it because bouncing a 10k unit back to your hand isn't going to help you that much in the long run. So try to use this. And this is the main star of the deck. Star-vader, Chaos Breaker Dragon. What he does is Limit Break, Soul Blast 1, Star-vader to retire the unlocking unit during your opponent's end phase and draw one card. And this is an auto ability, so if you have multiple units that are unlocking during that end phase, then you can Soul Blast multiple times to use this effect. So, and his second ability is now Limit Break, Counterblast 1 Star-vader and discard 1 Star-vader to lock any unit on your opponent's side of the field, and you can only use that once per turn. Now, for his Limit Break, he really did stir up the forums and other Vanguard communities for quite a while because he pretty much denies all the reverse decks, and also the fact that he is really undercosted for what he does. I can't really deny that. Soul Blast 1 to retire 1 and draw 1. Not only does it minus your opponent, but you're also gaining something from it. So I can't really deny that he really is overpowered, but at the same time, he also pretty much gave Link Joker what they needed, some kind of a reliable, advantage engine. So, it really is a good boss unit. Also, he doesn't really need to rely on the break ride, so he's fine by himself if you get to ride him first, because his second ability pretty much allows you to turn your grade 3s into a 10k or 15k shield. So, even though it can only be used once per turn, he really is a useful unit, and I really like him. So, and for the other grade 3, it's for Infinite Zero Dragon, the Break Ride. He's pretty much the core of the deck, so because he gives you the free lock just for riding, and he locks the front and back row unit for it. So without him, Link Joker, I guess can be viable, but he really is something that gives Link Joker that, push with his free locking. So if you get to ride him over and over again, then you can pretty much control your opponent's field that way. So he's really good. Also, along with Chaos Breaker Dragon, you're getting pretty much 2 free locks for his skill. So for grade 2, I run 4 Colony Maker. This is a new addition from set 13, and she's a really nice addition to the deck. What she does is that she counterblasts 1 when she comes out onto the field, and if you already had a locked unit on your opponent's side of the field, then you can counterblast 1 and then call any Link Joker units grade 1 or lower from your deck to any rearguard circles on the field. So that is really good. It's similar to Tartu and Maka, but the difference is that she can call it to any circle. So, you can use her to call Palladium, which I'll talk about in a second. You can call the Vanguard booster. She just has a lot of utility going for her, and she allows you to create those more advantage during the late game. Now, I guess the only downside is that you need to have a prior lock for her effect to go live, but that's not much of a problem because Link Joker's play is pretty much during the end game, and that's where they pretty much shine. So I run 4 per. And I run 4 Radon, the 12k attacker. Pretty much mandatory for all decks nowadays. Loyalty unit have been coming out for pretty much all decks along with the trial decks now, so I really can't, I really have to tell people this is pretty much you should run it. There's no reason not to run it. So run 3 Neobium. I did consider Krypton, the 10k vanilla, but in the long run, I thought Neobium is a lot better because I just want to have a more aggressive play with this deck because it's already creating a lot of advantages. And the reason for running 10k is pretty much so that you can have a 10k Vanguard during the first few turns for easier guarding. But I'd rather have a power gainer to waste more cards from my opponent's hand. And also, this deck has a more consistent way of blocking now, so Neobium is just a better choice, in my opinion. And 4 perfect cards, pretty obvious there. 4 Lanthanum. The Pix or the Neobium's Grade 1 version of it. I think he's much more useful because he can potentially become a 9k or 11k attacker, and with Redon, the 12k attacker, he can potentially hit 21k against the 11k Vanguard or 30k booster against some other units. So yeah, for pretty much for 11k Vanguard. So he's really good. And as I said before, this deck has a more consistent way of blocking, so their effects go live much often. And there's this a new addition. What the heck is that? For Paladin. This is a new addition from set 13. His skill is that during your opponent's end phase, when their unit is being unlocked, you can counterblast 1, put this guy into soul, and relock that unit. Now, what this guy pretty much does for you is that he locks the whole row just for himself in a counterblast, and that is really good. I have took out the 10k grade 1 attacker in Neon for 4 of these guys. The reason is because Link Joker is one of those clans that I would advise not running 4 of the 10k attackers. They're useful for early aggression in the game while committing your field with the booster at the same time, but the thing about Link Joker is that they won't be generating resources until much later in the game, as you saw from Colony Maker and Chaos Breaker, and because of that, they'll have a hard time protecting the rear guards if you overextend yourself too much. And let me tell you, smart players will be harassing your rear guards throughout the game, and a lot of times you won't be able to protect them all if you put too many of those units down. So you have to restrict yourself from calling units too early to ensure power plays like Nebula Lord, if you still run him, or proccing skills like Colony Maker or Lanthanum. So that's why I run him. And I run 2 Chaos Beat Dragon, the personal booster for Chaos Breaker Dragon. The difference for him as a personal booster is that he doesn't Soul Blast. Instead, you have to have a locked card on your opponent's side of the field for him to become an 11k booster for Chaos Breaker Dragon. And considering how often you can pretty much lock with this deck, his effect is pretty much live pretty consistently. I did consider Aura Eagle, but I've just pretty much decided on this because he's also useful as a rearguard booster if you have Chaos Breaker in your rearguard circle. So that's that. And for trigger lineup, it's pretty simple. A little bit of change, but 7 crits, 5 draw, and 4 heal. I did change it up from 8 crit to 4 draw to this because for this deck you're not trying to make power plays, but instead you're trying to win through advantage with Chaos Breaker. So you do want to draw a little bit more than you were trying to with the previous build with Nebula Lord. So yeah, that's pretty much deck profile. I do have to say that while I like this card, Bushiroad may have made a mistake with him because I've seen now Link Jokers have been topping a lot more frequently than before, and I don't know if I can take that as a good sign or a bad sign because if that means anything, then Chaos Breaker might get restricted like Dragonic Descendant was, but we'll have to see. That's only like 1 or 2 20 results. But yeah guys, that's the updated deck profile for Link Jokers, Chaos Breaker build, and I'll see you guys later. It was your victory, I am Vanguard.